Later. Now, those in the television control room got a considerably different view of Gypsy than those who watched her at home. It's always that case. Now, here's one of the creators of that Rose Lee show. Rose. Well, the director of countless other Channel 7 productions, good and bad. Before he became one of Hollywood's busiest producers and directors, he has how many Academy Awards he's done, I don't know. Wow. Marty Pacetta. How many Academy Awards have you now produced for television?
17, not this year.
17 total.
Yeah. I missed out on Snow White.
He did a little glee, right? I didn't do this year, so I don't know. How did you ever get into doing that? You went from here to San Francisco, down to Los Angeles.
Well, I don't know. I did a game show, and from there did Smothers Brothers, and then from there into, I don't know, that.
Don't you know the way these guys throw around names? All the Smothers Brothers, yeah.
Follow up the whole show here.
Yes, no, I want to know about Gypsy.
Gypsy, the most unpredictable, outrageous, crazy, difficult, lovable, and talented lady you could ever find. She'd do anything for a laugh, as you know. And I'll never forget, it wasn't exactly all laughs. We got in a plane. We went to Moscow. We ended up going into Rome at 3 in the morning. She didn't like our hotel. We had to get up and go to the airport and wait until they opened up a gate, and we had to come home. Well, that was not only our only travelings. I mean, if I went into the rest of the stories of that, we'd be here for 3 hours.
But we haven't got the time on you know, that is tough.
But 30 more seconds about Gypsy, and we were down to the point when she used to come back and forth every week from Los Angeles, and she always would have a new breed or a new brood of animals, and she would never leave them home. She just unheard of. She would bring them in any way she could. She'd end up getting on the plane, stuffing them into her dress in the front part. Her whole dress would be moving around and so forth. And the stewardess would come over and she says, "Is something in your dress alive? I mean, what are you doing there?" And she says, "Don't you touch it, darling, or you're going to hear from me." I mean, she got away with it. She got it.
Gypsy, business was making the dress move around, as I recall. But there was another guy, an unforgettable personality from the Bay Area, maybe the outstanding one ever. And he was somebody that you and I both worked with. He had a chance to become the biggest star in the United States if he wanted to, and he didn't. And that was right. Don Sherwood.
Absolutely. This is the guy that always speeding.
Well, you know him better than anybody, Marty, in this business. How would you rank that guy?
Well, he was really a superstar. They never heard of that word in those days, but he really was. That was a cult show. It had a cult following. It had ratings. I mean, people would try to get a ticket, and they had to wait 6 months to get in to see that show. And it was on. We were on the air live 3 hours, 3.5 hours a night, 5 nights a week. And it was the biggest thing. Group W is another big company, and they had the thoughts of a show for Steve Allen. They came up here and watched the show for 3 or 4 nights. They copied that format, and out of that, from Steve Allen, it went to Johnny Carson. It went on and on. We did live commercials in that show. Beer, he'd shake it, it would square.
Yeah, he was one of a kind. Don Sherwood. Thank you, Marty Pacetta. Thank you.
Don Sherwood, who was a long-time sufferer from emphysema, died in 1983. But we have with us tonight a fellow I went to high school with. He came in about 40 years after I did. His friend, straight man, foil, and second banana, KFRC's Carter B. Smith. Carter. Hi, Carter. Hi. Thank you. I know, upon seeing that tape, you got a lot of things from Don Sherwood, including clothes. Is that right?
Yeah, wearing some of the very similar. Yeah, I took everything I could take from him.
Yeah,
why do you think he did it right? Why
do you think he was so successful over the years?
Because he was honest and he didn't let anybody talk him out of doing what his instincts told him was best. And I think that's one of the keys to it.
Yeah, in an area like this, somebody like that has a very strong personality, but he also was a very self-destructive person, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think you could say that. Yeah, without question.
Yeah. When you first started working with him in radio, what was your job?
I was a newsman. And I was told, watch out for this guy because he's a tough cookie.
Yeah. Well, how did you ingratiate yourself with Don?
I ingratiated
he wasn't easy to get
myself.
to know. Anyway.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't at all. He was a difficult man to get to know, but...
They're not turning the lights out on you, Carter. They started to fade to black. That's
well,
it.
we've been standing here for about a minute now, and at our age, things start to dim.
That's right.
The lights were going out, or the show was over.
Yeah.
Jesus, 2 hours really goes fast in modern television.
Actually, it's Saturday night, the way things are going. Carter,
What was your question?
Never mind.
Oh, forget it.
Thank you, Carter, very much, and nice seeing you again. Thank you, Carter. It's an airplane and a Harley Davidson. Carter B. Smith. There you go. Okay.
Put the lights on us already. I thought it would run a little longer.
That's right. That's right. And, well, Carter B. Smith was a terrific guy, and he had a chance to get a whole new career started by meeting Don Sherwood, you know.
A lot of
In fact,
people.
there's no way of knowing who's going to actually become stars in TV. In fact, we never have. We've been here for years. Nothing's ever happened. You know.
Well, some of the most unlikely made the grade in a great big way, as you're going to see when we come back here on the show tonight. Stay with us.
Here we go.
Congratulations, Channel 7, on 40 years of service to the Bay Area.
May 4th, 1949, this homemade ad appeared in Bay Area newspapers. And it proclaimed that tomorrow night is the night Kgo-Tv Channel 7 goes on the air. Startling copy. And here's what we offered for our gala premiere program 40 years ago, Jack.
After a greeting from the governor, we had the station blessed by Catholic, Jewish, and Protestant religious leaders. No use taking any chances, folks. I mean, the way things are going, you know.
And then there was a World War II documentary, I guess for me, Eisenhower's Crusade in Europe. That was followed by our first big local live show, and it was right from the stage at the Golden Gate Theater.
Yeah, the MC was Gary Moore, and we had a dancing Weir Brothers. You remember the Weir Brothers, big
Weir
band
Brothers,
singer,
sure.
Ella Mae Morse. A Latin American dance team, Lolito and Ardo, we all remember them. And Artie James, who did tricks on roller skates. We missed that kind of TV. TV hadn't developed any real local stars yet.
Artie worked all the big rooms, and so the field was wide open for all the local talent who felt that maybe TV stardom was in their future. Now here's one whose first TV appearance was on Channel 7 in 1951. And it won't surprise you to know that he's still going strong.
We started KGO, yeah. Remember the columnist, you know, the San Francisco Chronicle Examiner. Oh, this LaLanne, this muscle guy, we're going to give him 6 weeks and he'll be off the air.
Happy Monday morning. Hey, they're all my little boys and girls, my helpers. Boys and girls, come here. Did you have a nice weekend? Did you have fun this weekend?
Everybody used to beat me up in school. This leaves its mark psychologically, you know, that you don't have a good image of yourself. I hated myself. I hated people. I hated kids because I was sick. I was sick from the sugar. And the minute I quit sugar, everything changed. Just like that. Born again.
Rigorously training in San Francisco is an Oakland physical culturist, Jack LaLanne. He is out to fulfill a life's ambition to swim the Golden Gate underwater.
The laziest organism, the laziest instrument in the whole world is the human body. Talk to 1,000 athletes. Ask them if they like to train. Oh, why do you do it? Good results. This body, the only way you can hurt is don't use it. You have to use this body in the society that we're living in today, with all the stress and all the artificial foods and colorings and all the things they're putting in the universe. This body has to be kept to its maximum. See, this body, if it's exercised and fed properly, then it rises above its environment. That's why physical fitness is going to escalate. It's going to be more popular as the years go by for man to survive. See, it's survival of the fittest. The fit survive, the rest go down the tube.
An oxygen tank and heavy weights will keep him 20 feet underwater.
I was booking Les Malloy's show, appearing on, I was a Girl Friday Day, they call him co-host, and I booked this show, appeared on the show, and ran around doing all these things, and somebody called up one day and said, we have this fellow over in Oakland that can do 1,000 push-ups through the whole program. And I thought, oh boy.
She wore a translucent leotard.
No, I didn't.
Wait,
no,
the real
I didn't.
story comes out.
No, I pedal pushers.
Sure.
Anyway, remember those pedal
You are 109.
LaLanne is buffeted by changing tides, forcing him to swim an additional 3/4 of a mile.
How's life now,
Well,
after all these years?
fantastic. We travel all over the country, and we lecture. He lectures. We travel together. A lot of people want us together now.
I do seminars for, you know, for medical groups.
I
and all
introduce
group
him,
coaches.
There you
and
go.
I kind of warm the people up, and then he gets
You're a
out
good
there.
warmer-upper, I can
and
tell
then
that,
he
you know.
sucks it to him, you know.
After 42 minutes, he finally surfaces. The one-time Mr. America thus becomes the first person in the world ever to swim the Golden Gate underwater. For the muscle man with a bulging bicep, bravo!
Doesn't work with us, does it? It's not that great.
Right. You know, in the good old days, an unknown could walk in off the street with any kind of a peculiar idea and really become a great success, right, Jack?
Why are you looking at me when you have a right? We're especially blessed here because some of the most weird, well, wacky, wonderful characters, we always have to call them wonderful after we have call them weird and wacky,
That's right,
in television have made their home right here at Channel 7.